Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Wednesday. How are we doing today? I am excited to be with you here today, doing some investigating of where we might be working a little harder and pushing the energy instead of flowing with it. And so I look forward to hearing if you're here with me live. Please make sure you give StreamYard permission and say hello in the chat. And if you're watching replay, hashtag replay. So, how are we doing with managing our energy? We are coming off of getting close, only one more week or less, actually, a Mercury retrograde. So, for those of you that do not have Mercury natally retrograde, I'd love to know how the experience has been for you. Are you noticing anything tech-wise or communication-wise? Personally, tech's been good, knock on wood. And I'm just feeling that slowness of my energy and really taking time to revisit, review, and look at how I'm moving through things and how I want to be moving through things going forward. Little communication hiccups, I think, but they're really minimal and they're clear up easily. So, but I really have dove in this time and been encouraging all of you to dive into this retrograde with the energy of revisiting and reviewing. So I want to invite you to do another layer of visiting and reviewing today. And that would be in the area of looking at how you are doing your marketing and your planning. This is one of those areas that I know we can make more complicated than I believe it needs to be. Conventional wisdom out there might say the more you market and the more tools you have and the more you plan, the more you will get results. And I'm like, what's true about that? That has not been my personal experience. When I've made things too complicated, I've not gotten the results that I desired. The more I found that I simplify, the more that things flow. And I think that's just true in life in general, right? The more we simplify, the more we get down to the basics, like what do we really need to do to move the meter? That's when things start to flow. If we've got a mile-long list of things that need to get done, we can be in trouble. So I wanted to talk today about some ways that I think are really powerful in order to simplify both your planning and your marketing. And we forgot to turn off the phone. We're going to do that right now. So how can we do that? How can we simplify things? Taurus energy, we're still in Taurus. Another little bit here. Taurus wants us to simplify, wants that things to feel easeful and luxurious, and planning can feel hard, and marketing can feel hard. I don't know if you saw my email the other day. I have decided, announcement here as well, I am never going to launch again. Never, ever. Not going to do it. No interest in launching ever again. You're going to be like, okay, Sherry, well then how the heck do you plan to grow your business? Well, I plan to grow my business and to find amazing people that want to work with me by making invitations, by sharing things that I'm excited about, by simplifying my marketing and really honoring my own energy. And the idea of launching, it just, it makes me tense. It makes me just exhausted thinking about it. But the idea of sharing something that I'm really excited about, making invitations to folks that I would be thrilled to share space with, like all of you, that gets me lit up. That changes my energy. So when you're thinking about your planning, your marketing, that's the number one key right there. What lights you up? Where are you leaning in? Where are you excited? Where does your own energy feel like when you are either moving through, doing, trying, thinking about whatever plan you've laid out for yourself? If you are tensing up, feeling sick to your stomach, anything that isn't maybe nervous energy. I'm okay with nervous energy, excited energy. But if we are not feeling good about what we want to do or what we're doing or how we're doing it, our results are going to show it. So, finding your way, really honoring your own energy, really saying, what works for me? Like, let's throw out all the have tos, shoulds, and let's just get clear for yourself about what feels good. If you like showing up live, that might be a great way to do things. If you don't, maybe not. I have a lot of clients right now who are like, I don't like social media that much. I like getting information there, but I don't want to be on it all the time. And their energy is really meant to be out in the world, connecting with people in person. And now that we can do some of that again, I've been encouraging them to do that because that's where the flow is going to come. So, number one way we simplify is by tapping into what works for us, our own energy. Do what works for you. Don't worry about what all the gurus say. Find your way and keep it simple. Less is more, less steps. How can you use less words, use less steps, do less things, less doing, so but still be showing up and making invitations. And the second way that I think is one of the most powerful ways that we can simplify both our planning and our marketing is really tapping into and understanding the energy that's going on in the collective. And that's what I love astrology for, because it really gives us this powerful lens, this into what is going on. And oftentimes I will hear people say to me, Sherry, what's going on in the stars? I'm like, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that. And knowing and understanding what's going on in the energy will help not only you personally, but help you to know what's going on for potential clients or for your current clients. So let me give you an example. And this is one of the things that we work with in the lab, the Alchemy of Business Lab, um, is we're looking at all the personal planets and how what their energy is right now and how that might be impacting things. So when we look at this last cycle, things have started to shift this week. So, but I want to think about whether this feels true for you if you notice this energy. So we had Venus and Aries during this last little bit. And Venus and Aries desires that we meet our own needs. Very Taurus energy too, fell into that collective. But then we had Mercury in Gemini, and Mercury wants us to collect information and revisit what we know. And then we've got Mars in Pisces. So Mars is that action planet, right? Mercury, communication, Venus, our desires. So Venus desires that we meet our own needs. Mercury in Gemini asks that we collect information and revisit what we know. And with Mars in Pisces, we would take action by slowly and methodically reviewing our own needs, collecting information so we can ensure our business is meeting our own needs and setting the stage to take action on those needs when Mars moves into Aries, which it is doing right now. So, if you think about the past few weeks, I know a lot of people have felt like the energy was slower. They were really feeling like they needed a lot of self care. So that was Venus and Aries saying, hey, take care of you. This is me time, you time. And then Mercury and Gemini, we've also had, retrograde going on. We're reviewing, we're thinking about it. So if we are taking action with Mars and Pisces, it's going to be slower. So think about that in terms of how you look at that with your own clients or potential clients. It may have felt like the past few weeks that there wasn't a lot of action being taken, that people weren't responding if you were making offers or invitations. And that's likely because they're thinking about it, right? They're trying to decide what they need, Venus in Aries. And now they're going to be a little bit slower and more methodical to make sure whatever action they take does meet their needs. So, knowing that, you can be, if you knew that in advance, you could be sharing the information that you thought people would need to make a decision and show them how it would meet their needs. It's making sense. So, really powerful stuff. Really simple, powerful information. So, that energy, the other GPS system I talk about, besides this one, the astrology, the stars and the planets are giving us a guidance system to be able to talk to our potential clients and meet them where they're at and trust and honor our own energy, which I think is just a really, really beautiful gift. So, are does that resonate? I'd love to know. Leave me a message in the chat. If you have questions about this, leave me a message as well. I'm going to be sharing more about this, leveraging these two energies, two GPS systems, your internal and this external, in your planning. We're now hitting on that, halfway point in the traditional calendar year. And I know a lot of people feel like it's moving so fast and what have I accomplished? So I'm going to be sharing some things over the next week or two to help you to find that flow for yourself, simplify things, and take advantage of this knowledge and energy that's available. That's the thing that I love to do, which is so fun for me, is curating all this information from all these amazing astrologers out there and putting it into a practical way that you can work with it in your business. So, and that's what the lab's all about too. Which will be reopening. I'll be making invitations for some folks to join us in the lab. It's a great, amazing group of folks, and I'm ready to bring some more people in, and I would love to. So you'll be hearing more about that in the next week or so. All right, my friends. So the question I want to leave you with today is, where are things more complicated in your marketing and planning than maybe feels good? So, where are things a bit more complicated? I want you to use this last week of Mercury retrograde to revisit and review those things and really be honest with yourself about where you might be able to make some shifts or look for some support to make some shifts to simplify, to make things easier. And by the way, get yourself some better results. So, because as I just need to remember, is all it takes is a little bit of heart power. So tap into that beautiful heart of yours. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you next time.